I'm looking forward to it.
That's okay. Take
Oh,
two. Hello, everyone. Hi. I hope you enjoyed our quad stream. We're going to stick along with this pink bracket. We cannot wait for these next matches.
yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be definitely some exciting matches coming up. Definitely gonna be obviously a variety of skill based on the bracket, but it's all gonna be competitive. It's gonna be a good time.
Yeah, and our first match, we're gonna get that to you soon, but I don't know, should I give a little bit of an introduction? I'm Lyra, or Lyra, I don't care how you pronounce it. I'm here for the vibes, you know?
I'm quick. I'm play Tetris a little bit. I'm good. I'm also here for the vibes, I guess.
All right. Yeah, so how are you doing? I hope you guys enjoyed your matches. It's always kind of cool seeing like the different skill levels going on at the same time. I saw a couple of my former TL opponents going on in that quad stream, so it was fun to see some familiar names for me.
Yeah, it's always a good time with this type of tournament style. It's very unique, and it's always cool to see like players you don't normally see on stream getting the chance to show off their skills. So it's always a good time to watch this tournament.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. All right, and if you guys are not familiar with TWC as a concept, so that is the Tetria World Championships, and this tournament is going to potentially give players in that pink bracket qualifying points for TWC, which if I'm allowed to send links in chat, I'm gonna send the link in the chat because I like to keep tabs on this and pay attention to what's going on in this match. But this is our next match we have here.
Yeah, it's gonna be Diao versus Kuro. It's gonna be a good one. Kuro actually getting a lot of upsets. If
Oh,
people
I
want to look at
saw.
the bracket, yeah, they managed to beat they beat Turtle and they beat Vince. So definitely no slouch here. Even as a 12 seed, they've already put up a strong fight. So it's gonna be interesting to see if they can compete with the one and only DL.
Yeah, and Diao definitely not a player to be messed with. We're a lot of us, I would say all of us, are probably familiar with Diao's gameplay, and if you're not, you're about to be. I mean, that pile of profile badges came from somewhere, and
Yeah, I
that's
was
been.
gonna say I noticed that, and that was like, that's a good amount of badges there. That
I
is a
love
lot of
that, like,
tournament wins.
the 40 lines in the Blitz just get cut off because of 3
Yeah,
rounds.
so many badges you can't see anything else. That's how cracked he is.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I believe we're just waiting for him to come into the room and we'll get started shortly.
Yeah, if you want to see Diaz 40 line and Blitz scores, you can just look up their profile. Unfortunately, we're not seeing them here, but they're
I can
available.
take a look. I think he has.
Yeah, okay.
Does he?
Yeah.
He has a sub 14, right?
You're asking the wrong
Or,
person.
or sub 15? I think he has a sub 15. Yeah, he has a 14.3 sprint. Pretty crazy. And then 889 blitz, which I assume is without PCs, which is also very impressive. And it's also 2 years old, so I doubt that that's actually what, like, the max of what he's capable of.
All right, and it looks like Diao has joined the room, so we will be getting this match started shortly. We'll let you know if players decide to do a warm-up, but we're just getting that sorted out now.
I'm a big one-up fan. Sometimes you need it. Sometimes it helps.
Why did Diao just pasted the entire warm-up copy pasta in the room? All right, so we are going to get that warm-up to you with on my screen I see a giant paragraph bottom left, but I don't think you guys are gonna see that. Kuro opening with dot cannon there. That's not an opener I see very often, but always an interesting one. Just one of the many C-spin openers out there.
Yeah, starting decently strong. Looks like Kuro is definitely taking their time a little bit here. Obviously, against Diao, you're likely to always be outsped, so sometimes you gotta try and time things. And right now, you can see Diao is taking advantage. Already has that 14 back-to-back into a spike to get the quick warm-up win there.
Yeah, just a slight misstack from Kuro there at the end. You could see the hesitation. Their board state wasn't exactly where they thought it was going to be. And that is our warm-up for you here.
Time to get right into the action, folks.
Oh, it looks like we might take a slight pause. Players saying that they want to just refresh their game first, make sure everything is a-okay.
And that's why you have the warm-up, to check these type of stuff.
So true, so
Sometimes
true.
you forget to change your keybinds at a LAN, and it's good to have that warm-up to help.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I've done it. Wow, I'm really glad that I put a coaster over the power button on my PC because my cat just stepped on it. That would have been bad.
He's got to be prepared for whatever your cat's gonna do. Zuko
He's
is
forfeited. Yeah, he's forfeited 2 of my TL matches by turning off my PC, so I really just can't let him have a third.
Well, hopefully they don't. Our players don't have to deal with that because we're about to get started with this match.
Alright, we have a C-spin opener yet again from Kuro here. Diao just building up that back-to-back with a C-spin of their own. Ooh.
Kuro already immediately at the top of the board looking for the eyepiece, cannot get it in time. Oh, that is not the start you want for the Kuro heads in the chat. Looks like Diao just going for the classic C-spin. That is one you do not see very often, but I'm a big fan of it.
Just spamming out those T-spins here, breaking that back-to-back, hoping to find the timing there, and that timing is found with the follow-up, and that's another point for Diao.
Yeah, Kuro being not defensive enough, already getting pressured very quickly 2 rounds in a row, and starting the third one with a bunch of misdrops. Looks like Diao isn't pressuring too quickly right now, so they can get out of it, but they do need to be careful to avoid misdrops like those.
Yeah, both players building up that back-to-back, and Kuro misdrops there, forcing them to break their back-to-back, and they're greeted with that -11 on the board, and Diao is just continuing with these all spins, building up this attack, sets it off with a 34 spike, and that is the round with a misdrop on Kuro's side to seal it.
Yeah, so far Kuro struggling a little bit, is not able to be too aggressive, at the same time struggling with the down stacks, and obviously Diao, if anyone can take advantage, it's that man right there, so they're doing a very impressive job.
Yeah, that's just another quick round there. Looks like another misstack from Kuro's. What caused that? And these are some pretty fast rounds in Diao's favor.
But yeah, I wonder if it's just nerves on Kuro's end here, because I feel like, given how they did against Vince and Turtle, I would assume they would be playing a lot better, but against Diao, maybe all things go out the window.
We see some LST here from Kuro's side, and they misdrop their LST. That's yet another misdrop, and they're struggling to recover from it right now.
Yeah, incorporated some all spins to fix their stack, but just not enough when you're playing against Diao. Already getting a 6-point lead here. At this rate, it's going to be a very fast sweep. And again, Applejack starting the misdrops. Yeah, it's so difficult for them here. They managed to fix it, but with a single misdrop, it gives your opponent the chance to start building that back-to-back, and Diao's going to take advantage of that every single time.
I'm wondering if this is a little bit of lag on Kuro's side, as they were the one who requested to leave and rejoin the lobby.
Yeah, hopefully that's not too Yeah, hopefully it's not too prominent of an issue, but given the misdrops, it is very possible. Oh, had the eyepiece, but just did not place it fast enough. Absolute showing by DL, already up 8-0 like it is nothing.
Yeah, Diao setting off the C-spin right here. STSD from Kuro as both players build up this back-to-back.
Yeah, looks like Kuro's starting to speed up here. Definitely playing more aggressive, keeping up that back-to-back. Was forced to break it here, but looks like Diao is decently high up. Does have a little bit of cheese to get through, but still trying to maintain their back-to-back in the meantime. At 18 at this point, Kuro in a really tough position if they want to be able to survive a spike like this, but Dio sitting at the top, forced to break their back-to-back. Applejack just barely surviving, forced to compromise their stack and not able to get down fast enough.
Yeah, they were able to get through that round without horrible misdrops at the beginning, ending things early. Ooh, speaking of misdrops at the beginning.
Yeah, they had
but
one
Dio was
round
just
where
able
they
to
were
find the back-to-back spike.
Yeah, the back-to-back chain was just too big that last round. Looks like, I mean, Kuro's playing well right now too, has a good chain as well. Forced to break it here. Looks like Diao is gonna try and keep theirs up. Ooh, they have to break it as well. They did mess up their stack a little bit there. Gives Kuro the chance to even things out. They do have the back-to-back advantage just for a short moment before they broke it themselves.
Yeah, Kuro has a little bit of a combo there. They're at the bottom of the board. They're trying to stack fast, but Diao has this 11 back-to-back advantage, and ooh, that misdrop J piece at the top is what's going to seal it, but that was still looking rough either way.
Yeah, now it's at match point here. The question is, will Kuro be able to stop the sweep? Because Diao is absolutely showing that they are capable of it right now. But as I say that, I guess I commentary cursed Diao because Kuro did not get swept there. Looks like just some misdrops on Diao's end and they weren't able to fix it.
Yeah, Diao is a tough player to commentator curse, but you managed to do it right there, and this isn't looking great. Okay, Diao fixes it, has to break back-to-back, 20 spike, 24.
Yeah, found a nice down stack to make their way down. Now back at the bottom of the board in a really clean position with this 6 back-to-back here. Kuro looks like they're doing alright from themselves, but as I say that, they have to break that back-to-back, and now Diao's just spamming. Theirs already up to 14 here and still going.
Yeah, Kuro trying to, that misdrop there is not going to help them try to break that back-to-back difference, and that's now ticking up to 20, and this is just Diao sitting on a huge spike, ready to set it free at any time.
Yeah, but they're still keeping that back-to-back, still keeping it going. Kuro doing their best to try and find any way out of this situation, but it's going to be tough to do so when your opponent has 37 back-to-back and counting.
Yeah, the minus 40 on the board, when we get there, that's not really looking great for you there, but all you can really do is try. Maybe hope for a misdrop here, but Diao is honestly messing with this here.
Oh my god! No way! Oh my god, that's what you get for trolling there, Diao. You had to...
That's what you get for that. Oh my god.
At some point, you gotta break it. You took a little too long and Kuro took advantage. Oh, that was beautiful.
Oh, that was kind of beautiful, yeah. That was poetic.
Yeah. Does let Kuro live another day. Obviously, Diao is still at match point. It is still a basically impossible uphill battle to win, but as I say that, Kuro's fighting hard here right now. Dio's sitting at the top, trying to find a down stack here.
Yeah, absolutely. Kuro had a good timing there. It kind of caught Diao off guard with that attack, and things are going back to normal, but that was definitely something I would expect to see from a player who's upset so much at this bracket so far.
Yeah, I think they're definitely they're definitely now in the groove of things. Maybe a little bit too late at this point, but if they can play like this, they might be able to go on a loser's run and bring it back. Obviously, the set is not over, but as I say,
And that T piece is not helping.
They do manage to live, though, just barely surviving. Very nice down stack to get out of it. And keeping this pressure going nicely, but Diao is starting to build that back-to-back chain again.
Yeah, and that's just going to continue to tick up here. Kuro doing a little bit of plonking here. Trying to go for a spike there, but yeah, Diao mitigates it, and oh no.
Wasn't able to get to that clean well in time, and Diao managed to take the set. It was not a sweep, but still, 11-2 in winners finals is very nice. Or is it quarterfinals? It's quarters, right? Yeah, it's semis. I am messing up, but yeah, semifinals getting an 11-2 win is very impressive, regardless. So nice job for him, and obviously Kuro did their best. They will continue in losers bracket, so looking forward to see what they do next.
Yep, and that is it for that match. Definitely stick around if you want to see more from both of those players. I know that I'm excited to see Kuro's losers bracket run. Definitely seen them put on a showing before, so yeah, hope to see them again. And it looks like we have 2 more players, so we might get this next match going soon.
Yeah, I think we are, from the looks of it, continuing with the pink bracket. And on the other side, or maybe not, we're just playing. I'm getting mixed signals here.
Yeah, with 4 different brackets going, it's kind of a lot to follow.
Yeah, it gets a little hectic.
Yeah, there's a lot of tournament organizers that are making sure that things run as smoothly as possible behind the scenes. So big shout out to them for having the quad stream matches. That in itself is not easy to do, and they'll continue to help us get these matches going for the rest of the night.
Okay, yeah. Okay, looks like it is pink bracket. I was looking at the wrong thing. So up next on the other side of winners, we're going to be seeing Westo versus Gohan, which is a very, very good matchup here. 2 very historic players. Obviously, Westo, we know, had an amazing climb, and Gohan also has a good showing for themselves. I believe they won Most Improved Player of the Year for the Stackies last year, if I'm not mistaken. Something like that.
Sounds about right. I'm inclined to believe you there. But as we can see, this is 2 seed versus 3 seed, and both of these players are known for being fast.
Yeah, very quick players. Also have a bit of smartness to them, I would say.
So true, and you are the expert of that. And it looks like we've got predictions going for this match. I'm interested to see how the predictions are going to go for this, because like I said, this is a very close one.
Yeah, I do think Westo does have a winning matchup against Gohan, but I believe recently Gohan managed to beat Diao in a tournament match. So, I mean, if someone could beat Diao, then they could probably beat anyone.
Yeah, so it might just come down to how these players play here, and we do have our warm-up going here. Gohan appears to have already misdropped just based on the way that they're hesitating right there up at the top of the board with quite a bit of cheese to work down through. Westo also with a cheesy board. Both of them are going to need to get down through this.
Yeah, Westo on the other side already sprinting at a casual 4.5. Just average numbers for him. Gohan just tried to find that down stack, not able to get through anything, but thankfully it is just the warm-up.
And that is your preview of this wild matchup. I cannot wait to see this one.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting one for sure. Looks like we're getting right into it.
And we see Westo opening with TKI and Gohan waiting for a few seconds. Maybe that's strategic, but Maybe something was up
Maybe
there.
we could see Wessel misdropping there, but maybe Gohan also misdropping. I did not see what happened on their board. Looks
I'm
like
pretty
they
sure
both.
both players misdropped there, and it just created a very like awkward lull. It's always funny when that happens. Gohan with a misdrop on that J piece there is going to leave them in a not great place, and yeah, that is going to be the round.
Yeah, even with misdrops, Westel's still going 5 PPS, 220 APM. I wouldn't expect anything less from that man.
Both players opening with just getting that back-to-back going. Gohan has to break it first and is greeted with that -10 up at the top of the board. They are down stacking right here, and they just do not get the pieces in time.
Yeah, that's just pressure, 260 APM already, starting off just too much for Gohan to manage. They do need to try and avoid these misdrops because it's definitely being deadly so far against someone like Westel. And Westel already starting the round 11 seconds in with a 40 spike? Okay. Gohan completely unfazed on the other side. I don't understand how this game works, clearly.
Yeah, me neither, as Gohan is up at the top of the board and still surviving for a while there, but yeah, that misdrop eventually getting the better of them. And this
Yeah, I
is a
guess you can-
strong start for Westel.
Yeah, already taking a very fast 3-0 lead here. Starts the round with a PC, not something you see very often in Season 2, but manages to keep back-to-back with it. Forced to break immediately after I say so, but has that 31 spike. But even still, Gohan completely fine. Finally chooses to break their back-to-back, and in a tough board state right now, needs to find some way to recover here, and not able to do it fast enough.
Yeah, it looks like just a little bit of a misstack from Gohan there. Had the eyepiece ready, but the well was not.
And Westel already starting this set with a 4-0 lead. Very fast round so far. Gohan needs to start figuring it out if they want to bring it back at this point. Because when Westel is moving, he is a very hard man to stop.
Right, and the way that Westel started this round just is insane to me. Just the amount of upstacking that they do on top of the garbage right at the beginning of the round because they know they have the speed for it is just insane to watch if that's something that you're watching for.
Yeah, there's very few people that could get away with what Westel does, but the speed definitely helps him do it. And right now that speed is showing, going 4.6.
Ooh, Gohan with the misdrop.
Oh, and Westel was in a bad position too. They were at the top of their board, but Gohan misdropping a little too high up there, could not get out of it.
Right, and that was just the perfect time to break that back-to-back there for Westel. Gohan had misdropped up at the top of the board. There's almost nothing they can do, and that's the exact time when Westel releases that attack. Whether or not it was intentional is a different story, but sometimes that's what you need in these situations is a lucky break, and sometimes that's what Gohan needs. Actually, that's likely what Gohan needs at this point, because 5-0 is a lot of momentum here.
Oh no, and that misdrop with the eyepiece. Wait, they're not dead yet, but do not last much longer than that. Westel keeping up that pressure, managing to kill before Gohan can make it to the bottom of the board.
Westel opening with a misdrop here. That's going to put them into a 9-0 stack into another misdrop that they turn into a T-spin. This is interesting over here.
Yeah, doing some all-spin action over there. On the other end of things, Gohan with the cleaner stack here, finally starting to build up this back-to-back chain, but almost immediately Westel catching up, even with those misdrops, just that speed. Gohan now sitting at the top of their board, trying to find some sort of down stack, does not make it to the eyepiece in time, and Westel already getting the Tetra League sweep.
Yeah, this is 7-0 here. At this point, I feel like Gohan is just looking for a no sweep. In this position, you kind of just want to save the mental and tell yourself that you got points at the very least. So that's what I'm hoping for here.
Yeah, but Westel is only going faster, but doesn't matter when Gohan goes just as fast, finally gets their first win on the board. Potentially a momentum shifter. If you're a Gohan fan, that's what you hope for.
Right, and they only had to go 5 PPS to do it.
Simple enough.
Yeah.
And already
Gohan up at the top of the board, manages to not break back-to-back, breaks it in that 23 spike, and wow, that is some bold stacking to be that up high above the garbage.
Yeah, maybe that's how aggressive you have to be if you want to be able to take wins off Westall. And I mean, so far, 2 rounds in a row, it's worked out. Looks like Westall now hesitating a little bit with their own misdrops. Now Gohan might be the one in the driver's seat. They're going very fast right now with this aggression. Westall still managing to keep up as always. Trying to keep that back-to-back, cannot maintain that all-spin power for very long. Gohan following it up with a massive spike. But Westall unfazed, and Gohan, why?
Why are we building a TST tower against Westell when we don't have the right pieces? Actually, I can't talk. Obviously, I'm not playing. I can't talk, but that was questionable. That was a little questionable.
Yeah, that was a bit greedy there. Oh,
Okay.
but speaking of greedy, Westall going a little bit too hyped there, giving Gohan the chance to take another win. Gohan slowly clawing it back. Obviously, Westall just needs 3 wins to move on, but Gohan is starting to put up a good fight here.
Gohan with a little bit of hesitation and that L misdrop high up on the board. There's a fix there. They try to put the eyepiece in there, but that is not the right shape, and that also is not right.
A follow misdrop immediately ruins any chance of survival there. And with that, Westall just 2 away from moving on to winners finals.
Yeah, both players building up this back-to-back here, building it up pretty evenly. Westall breaks in a 39 spike, and Gohan is able to downstack this, but breaks their own back-to-back in the process.
Yeah, just barely clinching out that survival. Nicely done there. Westall now sitting at the top with a bunch of misdrops, just barely finding a nice downstack to get out of it. But in the meantime, Gohan has been building up that back-to-back, already up to 21 here. Sends a huge 33 spike. Westall completely unfazed here. Now we're back to pretty much even here. And Gohan now being forced up here as Westall continues to be more and more aggressive. Back and forth battle right now.
Both players break, ending up on even ground. Westall has that clean 9-0 well off to the side that they're going to get into. Gohan building up this 2-7 stack right now, getting that back-to-back, sending that surge over to Westall. Westall downstacks through it as Gohan is looking to build up that back-to-back yet again.
Yeah, it looks like both players not able to maintain very long back-to-backs, just keeps doing mini spikes. I say mini when they're like 30 spikes, but it's back and forth here. Neither player able to gain too much of an advantage, but as I say that, Gohan looks like they have a lot of cheese on their board, and also some misdrops there might be deadly at this point. Makes their way out just barely, and Westall not able to capitalize.
Yeah, insane sequence to stay alive there. Westall now is getting that back-to-back, sends it over with a 16 surge or 16 spike with the surge, and both players back to even footing.
Yeah, this is by far the longest round we've had so far. Both players going 260 APM, going so aggressive right now. Neither able to get the killing blow here. Gohan is dealing with a bit of cheese at this point, but they can downstack through it like it's nothing. Westall on the other side trying to build that back-to-back. Already has it at 4, but Gohan on the other side has just the same amount.
Ooh, Gohan up at the top here. There's the clutch clear, but too much garbage, and that is going to bring this to match point for Westall.
Yeah, that's a heartbreaking loss for Gohan, because if you win that, that might be a huge mental shift. But with that, it's now match point. Gohan has no room for mistakes at this point. And even if they play perfectly, just one mistake gets you out. Right now, they are doing a nice job, but has that misdrop at the top of their board. Westall on the other side has a fairly clean stack, is able to keep up this pressure as Gohan is forced to continually downstack.
And Gohan is doing a great job with this down stack too, definitely rolling with the punches and finding the all spins along the way. There's that back-to-back, and they're trying to build it up here. Gohan with the back-to-back advantage now at this point, as they manage to survive without breaking back-to-back. They break it, and the follow-up there is enough to find the point.
Yeah, Gohan's still keeping it alive. They've definitely warmed up at this point. They are definitely in the groove of things. Still tough to say if they have any chance of winning with such a deficit in the points, but they are doing a nice job keeping it together.
Westel with a few misdrops here, some really nice fixes early on, but that is going to give Gohan the back-to-back advantage here. That -9 already appearing on Westel's board is just going to continue to build here. Gohan with the misdrop and the O piece is going to force them to break back-to-back. Little bit of a down stack spike there, but both players are just going to continue on.
Yeah, Gohan did have a bit of cheese there, made it through nicely. In the meantime, while Westel has a lot of clean to work with here, Gohan trying to find some sort of multiplier here. Not able to get too big of a spike, only a 26. Westel on the other side with a 33, and Gohan with the wrong piece trying to get this spin in. Just barely surviving, it is not enough there, and Westel takes the win.
That was a nice effort there at the end, but not quite enough. Westel's early lead there was enough to snowball them into the rest of the set, and I'm glad that we got to see a bit more of a showing there from Gohan's side towards the end.
Yeah, it looks like both Gohan and Kuro struggled at the start, nearly getting swept. Did gain some momentum at the end, unfortunately not enough, but hopefully it's good signs for them in the losers bracket. Hopefully they can both go on good runs and potentially make it for a rematch.
All right, and we are going to go down to one of our other brackets here. I'm not sure exactly which color, but this should be fun.
I believe this is going to be Yellow Grand Finals.
Yellow Grand Finals. Oh, I'm so excited.
We're ready for some big action here tonight.
Yeah, we have a fellow Ginger representing over here. Definitely have played them in TL before. Several times.
And we also have Built Like a Rat. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. Yeah, I don't know if that's like something you want to describe yourself as, but I mean, you made it to grand finals.
You made it to grand finals, so maybe like rats are built to last, you know? You're scrappy, but you survive, you know?
Exactly. We'll see. I mean, she's the first seed for a reason. She made it this far, so we'll see if the rat capabilities come in and get her the win. But you also don't want to mess with the redhead.
Yeah, you don't want to mess with the redheads. I don't know. I like my New York City rats, and I like my fellow redheads, so this is a tough one for me. All right, this is our warm-up here.
Ooh, looks like we start with a PCO here. Guess the first one does not...
misdrop DT cannon.
Yeah, that's not a great start. They are trying to find the downstack. They do clean up their misdrops, but in the meantime, they do now have a lot of garbage on their board they need to try and downstack through. They do make it to that clean well at this point.
Setup.
Trying to go for the all spin might be a little bit greedy on the top. They're not able to find the skim to get through it, and now they're just trying to find any piece to survive. Cannot get through it in time. And Built Like a Rat takes that warm up.
All right, yeah, that's your warm up. That's your preview. We saw these players in those quad streams. And yeah, best of luck to both.
What I'm wondering, who is on the winner's side of this bracket?
I've got to assume it's Built Like a Rat, but I can't be sure.
Yeah, I believe it is. So the redhead has a big battle ahead of them. They will need to win 2 first to 7 in a row if they want to take this.
But both players have pretty high PPS for their given ranks here, so maybe they're just volatile players. So over here, we do see new DT, which is an interesting opener. There is the all clear into the loop for it, which is scared me the first time I played against it, but Redhead is going to continue looping it, and they do just find the opener main round.
Yeah, I mean, if you can go 130 APM to start against this opponent, that's a good way to win.
So we do see DT versus PCO here. Rat does manage to send one garbage over to Redhead, so they're not going to be able to loop their DT cannon like they did in that previous round. So no opener remaining allowed here.
And now Redhead sitting at the top there could not get to that eyepiece in time. And Rat keeping it close here.
It looks like Redhead is pretty hard committed to this DT cannon here, and honestly, I love that for them.
I mean, if it's got them this far, then it's probably a good strategy, to be fair. So they are not able to keep up the loop at this point, but they do have... I was about to say they did have a slightly cleaner board. They do find a very nice down stack to make it down to the bottom here.
Yeah, then they're just going for this 9-0 upstack, which honestly can be a really safe bet. If that's what you're comfortable with, then sometimes you can get some really good damage and some back-to-back going from that 9-0 upstack. Rat is up at the top of the board here, having to go with this down stack. They misdrop the S piece for that all spin right there. They have a fix, but is the damage too much? And yeah, up the top, not the right pieces, and Redhead finds another point.
Yeah, they almost made their way down. They would have been a very nice position if they got to that clean well. Unfortunately not. Redhead keeping this lead going here. Still going with this DT. If it's not broken, why stop? So they're doing a nice job here. Not able to... Oh, they almost had the PC to follow it up.
They almost... And Built Like a Rat almost had the PC on the piece, or the SDPC there. So interesting switch up in opener strategy, trying to counter the opener main with some opener maining, which is a fair strat there.
Yeah, it's not a bad way to go, but we are past the opener at this point here. Into the mid-game action. Redhead is covering up their board a little bit, but Built Like a Rat has a good amount of cheese they need to get through if they want to make it down the bottom of the board. And they are covering up their wells, but Redhead with those misdrops at the top here, forced to try and make their way down, but not able to get through it. Built Like a Rat timing the spike to get that killing blow.
Yeah, and towards the end of that round there, Built Like a Rat had a little bit of greedy stacking at the top, but it really paid off for them because they were able to find the damage they needed. And they're going for this TKI into ST or LST opener on the side. Yeah, and they're getting that back-to-back going.
Yeah, nicely done here. This might be the longest back-to-back chain. Does break it. Redhead forced up to the top. Now they have a really clean well to work with. They could potentially send a lot of damage here. Yeah, Built Like a Rat spiked up at this point, trying to find their way to the... Well, could not get down, could not clear it, and get the eyepiece placed in time, and Redhead keeping that lead going.
Yeah, just not finding that down stack right there. And there's a misdrop over there on Redhead's board. That's going to stop their DT cannon opener. And Built Like a Rat is going to use this time to build their back-to-back, but they do have a misdrop, and Redhead finds the spike. They find that spike with that 2 eyepieces and that T-spin, and yeah, that is brutal right there.
Yeah, nicely done by Redhead. Built Like a Rat with just way too many misdrops at that point in time. Does start off this round with a PC, does force Redhead out of the loop as they do get a little bit of garbage here. But Redhead does have the cleaner position at this point, as Built Like a Rat has another misdrop pretty high up, does find the down stack. But in the meantime, they have received a lot of cheese and need to down stack, and instead they misdrop, creating even more cheese on their board.
Both players on the down stack here. Built Like a Rat has a nice well to get into and a nice little spike with it. Redhead just kind of going for this infinite down stack right here. Built Like a Rat gets that back-to-back. Let's see what they're able to do with this here. Oh, they break. Okay.
I feel like that was a misdrop, to be honest.
That does seem like a misdrop, yes.
They do have a fine position. That was kind of an unintentional donation. That was pretty nicely done. Redhead on the other end of things does have some misdrops. Do find their way down to the clean. Do get that eyepiece placement just in time. But Built Like a Rat starting to build a 7 back-to-back chain. Trying to keep that all-spin action at the same time. Redhead does have that clean well to work with, but Built Like a Rat has the back-to-back. We'll see who takes advantage. Built Like a Rat finally forced to break out of here, and Redhead now sitting at the top here.
Yeah, that's a lot of cheese on Redhead's board. They're going to have to get down through this. Built Like a Rat has a nice 1-8 well that they're getting into right now, finding a T-spin along the way.
Yeah, there's a lot of cheese on Redhead's board right now. They have that T-spin managed to cancel just enough here. Built Like a Rat doesn't have the cleanest board to pressure at this point here, trying to find some sort of attack while Redhead is in the down stacking position.
Redhead with a 13 spike there. That down stack spike is going to be enough to find them the round, and Redhead is starting to run away with this set.
Yeah, it was close at the beginning, but Redhead, I think, has taken 3 rounds in a row here. Doesn't need the opener to win these games regardless, but still going for it. And gets the opener even with the garbage! 100 APM, very nicely done. That was just perfect.
And then they type wow in the chat as if they're surprised that they did that themselves. Built Like a Rat misdrops the PCO. Chain misdrops a little bit. That's a nice fix. They can keep that going and they open up their board, but Redhead is... Okay, looks like they don't find the PCO or the PC in the loop with their opener, so that's good news for Built Like a Rat here, but... Ooh, they're going for the DT over here. I love that. Oh!
Did not work out, unfortunately. Redhead's still at match point. Built Like a Rat needs 4 in a row if they want any chance to not get this reset going. Redhead's still going strong with this BT cannon. They refuse to give up on it. They had the PC, did not choose to go for it, which was interesting. But they do have that back-to-back chain at this point, so maybe they're trying to take advantage of that. And going with the 9-0 here.
Yeah, love to see that. It's a nice continuation from that DT cannon, and there is that 19 spike there. That's going to put Built Like a Rat up at the top. They don't have the pieces, and that is it. So if the 1 seed right there, who was Built Like a Rat, was on the winner's side, then that means this goes to true finals. But since I don't entirely know who was on the winner's side.
I think it was, yeah. I'm looking at the racket. Unless the person named Bombed Like a Rat is Redhead, which I don't think is likely, then I think we do have a bracket reset here.
Is this guy really S+? I've played them in SS, and you know what? Sometimes you can just go on a loss streak. I feel that. That happens sometimes. You just run into the wrong opponents. You find someone that's 4 PPS opening you, and you know what? That's life.
Yeah, that's how it goes sometimes. But yeah, with that... Oh, do we not have a reset?
It seems like we're working on the streaks there. We're working on it. It's a lot of brackets, it's a lot of matches, it's a lot to keep up with, but we will let you guys know what we're going to do next. It looks like we're staying on with this bracket reset here, which I'm excited to see.
Yeah, it'll be a good
No, we're
one.
not.
Assuming
No, we're not.
it is happening, hopefully.
Nope.
No?
Nope. Wait, nope. Yes?
Yeah.
I'm trying
Yes.
to... Okay, let's assume this is correct. I'm looking at who's readied up in the Tetrio room, and it's not these two. So we'll get things sorted out with the players.
If you look on the stream, it is the bracket reset, so now I'm very confused. Okay, no. It looks like we're good. Okay. Okay. Yeah, looks like we do have the bracket reset. Yeah, everyone is confused. The players are confused, the TOs are confused, the commentators are confused, but it's all a good time.
All right, it looks like our players are ready here. Whoever wins this wins it all. Thank you for the clarification.
There we go. Looks like, yeah, I guess these players do not need a warm-up because they have already been playing for a good amount. We'll see if Redhead keeps the momentum here and actually gets the win after the reset, or if Built Like a Rat can keep it together and maintain the win they had in the winners finals. Ooh, has that Imperial Cross from Mishdrop. Very nice fix there. Redhead on the other side of things does have that back-to-back chain going. Forced to compromise their stack a good amount to get out of it, but Built Like a Rat with so many misdrops, I do not see much of a way for them to get out of this position here, unfortunately. They are trying to do their best, but it's just not enough.
Yeah, and that is going to be first round for Redhead there.
Yeah, keeping it strong to start. Rat already having misdrops here. Redhead doesn't have the cleanest board on the other side, so they cannot take much of an advantage. Yeah, they are
Redhead
having
looking
some
for the all spin.
I don't know if
Not
it was
finding
all
the all spin.
spins. I thought it was just misdrops there, but regardless, it did not work out for them, and Rat able to tie it right back up here.
This is something I'm guilty of just throwing pieces in and hoping that there's a kick, the exact kick that you need, and they just didn't have the kick that they needed, which is unfortunate there. But every now and then, that strategy does actually work.
Yeah, if only we all had our own personal Wily to tell us if this spin works.
Yeah, and then, you know, getting clarification on whether it's the 5th or the 8th kick is really important.
But
Ooh,
yeah,
and that misdrop
that's...
over there on Redhead's board is not looking good, and they do not find the well in time.
Yeah, and with that Rat, I think this might be the first time they're leading in either of the two sets here. The question is, will they be able to keep this lead up until the end?
And here are the openers yet again. There is that SDPC versus that new DT cannon. No PC looping there on Redhead's side, but they do have that back-to-back. It does look like they have to break it here, as Built Like a Rat is just 9-0 stacking on top of the garbage. There's the down stack through that garbage there, puts Redhead up at the top, and they do not have the pieces in time.
Yeah, Built Like a Rat going all out in that round. Very nice speed and pressure, managing to keep this momentum.
And I think they're showing us what Built Like a Rat means. They're resourceful.
Yeah. They made it to winners finals.
Misdrop on Redhead's side.
Oh yeah, that's a very bad position to be in. It cannot find the way out, and Built Like a Rat with already a 3-point lead here, only needs 3 more to win it.
All right, there's that new DT going into the 09 stack. They find back-to-back, they break it, and Built Like a Rat's board is not built to handle that.
Yeah, looks like Redhead finally able to stop this 3-win momentum, trying to keep it going, bring it back in. Already, we see the openers that we are used to here. Redhead not able to keep that loop up. Still doing a nice job with the pressure here, but is pretty high up themselves at this point. Yeah, just trying to find their way down through the sports state here. Does manage to make it to the clean well, looking for that eyepiece, finally gets to it in time. Built Like a Rat on the other side, just trying to keep some back-to-back, but Redhead sends a huge spike, sending Built Like a Rat all the way up here.
Yeah, and we'll see if Built Like a Rat can access this garbage here, because there are some clean wells waiting for them. Well, Redhead's board is pretty messy. That garbage is pretty cheesy. So if Built Like a Rat can capitalize off of this here, then they may be able to find another round.
Yeah, Redhead just really high up here, trying to make their way through the cheese. Built Like a Rat just trying to find any killing blow, and Redhead with that misdrop lets Built Like a Rat get another win. Only needs 2 more to take it.
Yeah, and we see more TKI into LST versus that new DT cannon here. PC denied. Ooh, but the spike is still there. There is that opener spike, and that is a 3 PPS, 150 APM round. insane.
I would be happy with those types of stats.
Yeah.
And I bet they are ecstatic that they get it. They are still trying to make their way back to tying it up here. Built like a rat, going for the old C-spin. Big fan of that one. They have a really clean board here, but they're not able to get to the T-piece or I-piece in time. Redhead with another fast win there.
All right, Redhead's starting to turn this around. This is anybody's game at this point, and Built Like a Rat has this strong LST to start this off, while Redhead is going for that opener that's been working out for them. A little bit of hesitation here. There is a hole in the stack that they're not happy about, but the I-spin fix is wild. I love that.
We are big fans of the I-spins here. Looks like both players now in decent positions. Right as I say that, Redhead kind of compromises their board a little bit. They do manage to make it down to the clean well in time, but still pretty high up as Built Like a Rat is continuing this 9-0 pressure.
Yeah, Built Like a Rat here is going to have to downstack their board soon, as that garbage is not looking great for them. Redhead just stacking on top of the garbage and has that clean well that they can get into soon. Little bit of greed, but honestly, very well placed greed. This is smart play from Redhead here, as they're using their material in the best way possible.
Yeah, on the other end of things, Built Like a Rat just doing all they can to get this pressure going. Not able to get the killing blow. Unfortunately, they do manage to still make it to a clean well, but Redhead is pretty low on their board, so they should be just fine for the moment.
Yeah, Built Like a Rat forecasting that T-spin really nicely there. Ooh, but a little bit of a well cover from Built Like a Rat, so that's going to slow them down a little bit.
They are doing a nice job just keeping that down stack, trying not to get too high up. They do mess up their board a little bit, use that O-piece to clean it up quite well. Redhead on the other end of things does have their own cheese, but they're just playing super aggressive, trying to get any cleaning blow they can.
Yeah, and Redhead looking for a combo downstack here, but not finding the combo they need. Built Like a Rat is honestly stacking really clean right now, and Redhead is up at the top. Built Like a Rat trying to find that killing blow with these T-spins here. There's another T-spin single into a quad, and that finds the round and brings Built Like a Rat to tournament point here for this yellow bracket.
Yeah, if they can manage to get this bracket reset into a win, this will be an amazing performance for them. Redhead has a tough match ahead, needs to win 3 in a row here. Starting the round, not great, really high up. Does get a small combo there, but it just might not be enough. Trying to just find any way to make their way down.
The clutch clear comes out, but not enough.
Yeah, they had
Built Like a Rat comes back in true finals. That was insane.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you're a rat, you're just built different, because they managed to get the win there with the bracket reset. Very nice performance by them. And they managed to win the yellow bracket. Amazing performance by both of these players.
Yeah, they really showed us what Built Like a Rat means there, and I'm honestly so glad to have witnessed that end of that bracket. I slammed my desk so hard I alt F4'd. I feel that.
Yeah, that's how it goes. Sometimes you played very well, unfortunately. Sometimes you play someone who's built like a rat and it doesn't work out.
All right, so we have another match here, and it's the one that we kind of previewed earlier, but I'm really excited for this because we are down in our green bracket here. As we can see, both of these players are S-, which means we're probably going to see not 3 PPS 150 APM rounds like last time.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, there might still be some opener wins. I don't know these players' playstyles. We'll find out in a second, but it'll be slightly more jank than the previous set, I would presume.
I got confused at the fact that it says a blitz score and a quick play score. I really thought that that was a 1 million blitz score on that S- player, and I got really confused for a couple seconds, but that is honestly a really good quick play PB for an S- player, so.
Yeah.
Looks like we're going to get our warm-up started here. All right, so we see a PCO from, I'm just going to call them Wizard. That's probably how you pronounce that username.
Yeah, I assume that is Wizard. Both players just taking their time right now. Nine Wizard does have a slightly lower board here, trying to find some pressure here, or just trying to clean up their board at this point. Tries to go for the all spin, does not get to the Z piece and in time, and cannot find the combo out of there, unfortunately.
I'm trying to figure out if this is Anya or Anya.
Yeah, Anya?
Anya? We're gonna go with that one. But this is grand finals for green bracket. I'm guessing Anya is coming from the winner's side, considering it's a 3 seed versus a 4 seed. So the 4 seed probably beat the 1 seed and the 3 seed probably beat the 2 seed. That's just my best guess. But so far, all of the winners' sides have been on the top of the matchup screen, so we're also going to be using that.
I am not sure who's on the winner's side, because looking at the bracket, neither of them have their own username. So it's as best of a guess as yours is mine.
We are just out here using context clues. We are doing our best, just as we hope these players do as well. Anya is from winners. Thank you, Sketched. Okay.
Okay. Yes.
Good. All right, and this is first to 7 here.
Yeah, definitely. They normally play first to 5 in Tetra League, if I'm not mistaken?
Yes, they do. They do.
Okay. So,
both players going for PCO there. Neither finding the PC. I'm interested to see if we see some PC finding later on in this set. Ooh, that eye spin?
They have that 5 back-to-back. Not something I expect to see in S-. We'll see if they're able to...
And they're looking for more. Oh,
yeah, they get another spin and get that 6 spike. But looks like it's not enough to really do too much here.
Ooh, the Z-spin single on there is nice, but Anya is on the down stack right now, setting up this T-spin double into the quads. That's going to be a 14 spike. That's going to push Nine Wizard up to the top. They have the pieces to get out for now, but ooh, they find the eyepiece in time. Then they hold it. Okay, we've got the eyepiece out, and there's the down stack.
Do find the scam, are forced to waste that eyepiece to get down, but manage to get another one just in time. And Anya now sitting at the top themselves, trying to find any way to downstack through this. Does have that eyepiece ready, manages to get the clear, and making their way slowly down. Nine Wizard on the other things, dealing with a lot of cheese right now, and misdrops as well, trying to find some way down, and cannot do it fast enough.
Yeah, and that is just a nice spike into that well. A 13 spike ended out that round for Anya there.
Yeah, nice job by them to start. Looks like both of them going for PCO. Neither has the solve there. And we'll see what they continue. Nine Wizard trying to go for the eye spin. Does not manage to do it correctly, though.
Oh, they're going for another eye spin.
Trying to time?
They're close. Oh, no, not quite finding it. They're a player after our own hearts, though. They do have that back-to-back, that 4 ready to go, trying to continue building it up. And, oh, the all-spins come through.
Yeah, this Non-Wizard is a big all-spin fan from what I'm seeing. They're keeping this back. Already has an 8 back-to-back. That's better than I can do half of my rounds. So nice job by them. Already at the top of their board, not able to get to that clean well in time, and Nine Wizard right back at it, tying it up.
All right, both players going for PCO again. Neither finding it. Anya is just going for this 9-0 setup here. That is a very nice clean well that's waiting for them when they do decide to stack into it here, as Nine Wizard is going for these all spins. They do have that back-to-back surge, but are likely going to need to break it soon. And there's that break into a misdrop, unfortunately.
And now they're forced to downstack. Anya is sitting at the bottom of their board, trying to get some pressure here. Does get the T-spin right away, but in the meantime, Nine Wizard going fast enough to make their way down to the clean, and now about to get a Tetris while they're at it.
Nine Wizard waiting to keep that back-to-back going, and it looks like they're setting up an STSD here while Anya is at the top. If they're able to find this down stack in time, they could punish this, but Nine Wizard finds that first T-spin, and that is enough to find that point.
Yeah, Anya just struggling right now. Nine Wizard doing a very nice job with this back-to-back. I'm not used to seeing back-to-back being maintained this long at such a level, especially with all spins. So Nine Wizard is doing a very nice job showing off their skills. They still need to get a bracket reset if they want any chance of winning this. And if they have stacking like that, they are going to struggle to do it as Anya ties it right back up.
It seems like they were going for an L-spin triple setup. Normally, I wouldn't expect a player around this rank to go for that, but it actually really looked like they were going for it. So that would have been wild to see.
Given what Nine Wizard has been doing so far, I would not be that surprised. They are continuing with this all-spin, keeping it going. Oh, but that misshop forces them to potentially break here? Or just more misshops on top of it. Finally does break that back-to-back. Anya is pretty high up themselves, so it's definitely not over for either player at this point. Anya does get that J-spin to just barely survive, but still getting some attack here as they try to find the down stack.
Yeah, Anya just on the down stack here. That's probably their best course of action, given Nine Wizard's playstyle, is probably just to stay low and wait for a misdrop.
Yeah, Anya doing a nice job keeping it together, getting the good down stack here. Nine Wizard is definitely the one on the offensive, and Anya does not have a good place to put that Z piece. Does manage to skim their way out of it, but forced to break the I piece before they get to that I garbage well. Do not have another one to save them here. Forced to use an J piece to try and make their way down. Just barely surviving, gets that I piece over. Continuing to live here, but still very high up on their board, trying to find any way down as Nine Wizard managed to get the killing blow.
Right, they find the damage exactly when they need to. That's enough to get the round. So we have Anya going for this TKI here against the PCO.
I think Nine Wizard did have the PC there. Unfortunately missed it. But still has that back-to-back.
They're using the PCO to get early back-to-back. I know a lot of players have been doing that in higher ranks, and I wouldn't be surprised if they're doing that as well.
I mean, given their all-spin vision, I wouldn't be surprised about anything they're doing with this back-to-back. They're already starting this round very nicely. Anya already really high up